What up, guys? This is Kyle Wycliffe on YouTube, and it's been a while since I posted a video. I haven't been reviewing work and stuff, but I wanted to make a review of A Quiet Place. It's a really scary movie. I loved it. I love the storyline to it. This time I'm gonna do a spoiler review. So this is a spoiler review for The Quiet Place. So if you haven't seen this movie, right now will be a good time for you to go ahead and stop this video and go see this movie, then come back for the review. Starting off with the movie, it starts off with a kicker. It starts off really hard. Remind you now, this is a spoiler review, so if you don't want to be spoiled, click it off now. So, Zach Krasinski's character dies at the end of the movie. That's a spoiler, big spoiler. Okay, we're starting in. The first part of the movie is very dramatic, very quiet, like it is a quiet place. So, starts off with with the little boy. It starts off with him, like tiptoeing quietly, running around a little shopping mart. You know, we had the mother. They're looking for medicine for the boy. He's sitting. There are two boys. It's a family of two. You got the mother and you got the father. And you got a daughter and two sons. One of the sons is a little bit older, probably the oldest son. No, mid-aged son. I think the daughter's the oldest, but he's sitting down. I think Emily Blunt's character, the mother, is getting some medicine for the boy. And you had the little boy running around. He goes to get a spaceship because he's drawn into the ground. And the little daughter comes. He wants to get a spaceship to fly away from the place because bad things are happening with the aliens or monsters, whatever they are. The movie doesn't give it away, and it's a basis that little spaceship is the basis of a very tragic thing in the movie, which really starts the movie off. Because in the movie, I saw it coming. I kind of saw it coming once he grabbed the batteries for the ship because you can't make any noise. The dad wouldn't let him have the spaceship because it makes a lot of noise. But the mistake of the little girl is she gave the ship back, but it had no batteries in it. But in turn, the boy took the batteries, which leads to one of the shocking things. And what leaves nothing on the table, that means anybody can die, is the boy dies. He's playing with the ship near the bridge. He turns it on, puts the batteries in, turns it on, makes this loud sound. Dad racing after to get him, and he gets killed. He gets snatched up by the monster. I was like, dude, the jump scares, it's not just like there's not really, when you see, there's not just, what they did good about the movie is making you jump when there really is nothing. Like, for instance, you'll hear a sound, you jump. Emily Blunt or her characters, they do certain things, sound effects, they jump. And when you get jumping, when the monster comes, you jump and it makes this sound. The sound effects really jumped. I jumped every sound in the movie. I jumped. It's a good shocker. Especially I was doing the RPX showing with a surround with the good sounding, so it's good loud speakers, and I jumped on most of the scenes. Every scene I did, I jumped on every scene. The dynamic in here, I love how the family is carrying on about their day, even though it's day, because it says it like happens like too much ago. You would think, like, how did they live like this with no sound, no, just walking every day, living every day to day with no sound. And somehow they adjusted to it. It's after months, after years, they just adjust to the fact of having to be very quiet so these things can't hear you. Now these aliens are in the movie, it displays like how did they not kill off these things? And it shows you that the aliens are fast. They can't see, and when you see, they're armor plated aliens. They're plated armors, all from head to toe. They're fully armor plated. And the way they hear is they open their ear canal, and it shows it out. So they're fully armor plated, and that says why they're indestructible because you couldn't hit them with a bullet. But they use by here because they have no eyes. They're armor plated, so you can't attack them. You can't hit them at them. They can tear through their claws. They're just like adamantium aliens, basically. They can tear through anything. They tear through metal like it's nothing. So these things are powerful. Powerful creatures. They're fast. And they tear through the body instantly. So, and that's the thing about it is they're just living through life. And the only way they hear you, they come after you. In the movie, Emily Blunt character is pregnant, which leads to some very interesting things, very interesting concepts. How did they go through labor? How did they do stay well? Actually, one noise she makes, the alien comes after her, and that whole sequence with her water breaking, and this alien looking for the sound that she accidentally made when she stepped on a nail is it's something. Had labor right there, and actually was able to have the baby after the whole fact, and like how they strategized how to make it the rocket. The kid with the rocket, she takes the lighter, lights the rocket up, shoots it up to distract the alien. It comes out of the house, and Emily Blunt screams because she's right at the moment of making giving birth. Gave birth to the baby while the fireworks were going, and the aliens intriguing. With another character, the girl, who's kind of the base that starts. She can't hear, and the father. One of the really things that really touch you right here in the heart is the father's doing everything he can, working downstairs to figure out a way to fix the hearing aids, multiple hearing aids to figure out so she could get her to hear, so she could be somewhat normal in a normal world, and it's very touching. It's a real struggle with the daughter of the mistake that she made by giving the toy to the child, and how he shows how she's not understanding or hasn't caught on, and she's not understanding that her father still loves her through everything. It was through everything. John Krasinski's character still loves her with everything, loves his whole family, everything, and his sole mission is to make sure his family is safe and protected by any means necessary. And really touching. Emily Blunt is such a badass. She's such a, I mean, the facial expressions with each character showing vulnerabilities, including her, and just, but that moment when she was in labor, it was. I thought there's many parts in the movie where I thought she was gonna die, and when she finally has birth, you see the plan figured out, how they have it to where because the baby's crying, how they had a plan, put in the underground cavern to have the baby inside the breathing apparatus, so when the baby cries, they just put her in put the boy in the box to where it can cry if it has to, but it'll breathe. It keeps them sealed so there's no sound. The monsters can't hear the baby crying. Ingenious. And that's what they had to do. They end up going down in that tunnel for the baby. And then that monster comes in and hears the baby crying, but they're in there in that soundproof chamber. We're able to cover up before the alien can get to them, the monster can get to them. And it tears up the inside of that upstairs with them, tears it up, caused another dilemma with water coming down into the basement. And boy, that was a scene. There's a hint in the movie that they give away is that nature, waterfalls and running rivers. There's a scene where Jack Krasinski sends his son out, takes his son out so he can learn how to survive, just in case things go wrong, hunting fish. The monsters don't run to every sound because it understands what different sounds are. So it shows where you could go near a waterfall rushing with full sound and you can talk. You can scream and yell because this waterfall sounds drown out everything. The monsters can't hear. It's just ignoring the waterfall sound because it's just regular thing. They know there's no human there. So it drowns out. That's an interesting thing that leads into the basement part of the soundproof chamber where the water drains in, is running in and flooding the area, and she's able to hide underneath the water with the alien monster being there. And then another sound distracts the monster, which is going to the part where the children are waiting for the father up in the corn to where they hold the corn. And that was, whoa, that was a scene. Almost sinking into there, the boy picking her up and holding between that door. Alien, the monster goes right inside. You're thinking they're gonna go, but once again, they were quiet enough and the monster escapes. There's one bullshit scene I didn't I like, where it's the car scene where they go in, they're running from the monster, keeping quiet. They run under the truck. Zach Krasinski quietly gets an axe, pulls the axe up, makes no sound. But the monster's up on the roof, and somehow, that monster knew to hit him on top of the roof and knock him down. I was like, he didn't make a sound. How did you know to hit him at that spot and knock him on his ass? I was like, that's bullshit. But whatever, it's a movie. Monsters beating on the truck, and the kids are in there. It's a noise. It's because once he gets hit, the son screams, and the monster goes right after him. Beats on the truck, and Zach Krasinski knows that in order to save his kids, he has to scream. He has to scream to distract the monster, and he dies. The monster turns and kills him. Which I was like, but I like the fact that with the weakness of the monster was high-pitched frequency sound, which the daughter was having because the hearing aid was malfunctioning. Every time the monster got close, the high-pitched frequency would activate because it's running off a sound, and it almost kills the monster. The sound's so bad it has to run away off the hearing aid. And so at the end of the movie, they figure out the hearing aid. The daughter figures out the hearing aid is what hurts him. Puts it on a microphone and then shows a weakness. Head opens up. That's the inside of his head. Remember, it still has no eyes. It's just muscle and tendon pulling up the head, armor up so he can hear. But with the shotgun, you see the badass come out, blow his head off. Dude, this movie was very satisfying. I mean, the way the characters act, the way they interact, I mean, it's a lot of acting skill put in there. The children are astounding. Emily Blunt is astounding. Zachary is astounding. Everybody's astounding in this movie. It's scary. Every time a noise was made, I jumped. Every time a noise is made, I jumped. This is a must-see movie, I guarantee you. But for my spoiler review and conversation, this is a thumbs up. I would not mind seeing this again. Well, it's hard to see it again since you've seen all the jump scares. It's not. But I would see it again. It's a great movie. It has really, really good character piece for a horror film. But that's my review. I'm talking about A Quiet Place. I believe the next movie is the movie of movies. The next movie I'm going to see. The movie that will end all movies. And that is Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. This is, I'm waiting all my life for this shit. So, like, comment, subscribe if you try to do some more movies now. Been keeping up. Reviews. Avengers Infinity War is next, guys. Unless there's other movies I forgot that was out, but this is, I've been waiting for this. But that's my review of Quiet Place. Next movie I believe is Avengers Infinity War. So, peace out. Till next time.